Hello friends, chapter 3 is about Mars. Mars is the commander in astrology, rules or represents energy, your courage, your brothers and sisters and support from them, and it's closely linked with the armed forces, the police, commanders of these forces, and people in very high administrative positions, people in engineering, people dealing with real estate, property, ruling over a large mass of land, and its metal. This is very important in the case of Mars, is copper. And Mars, if you ask in one word, is the planet connected with the brother. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, and the exaltation sign for Mars is Capricorn, and the exaltation degree is pretty high, somewhere above 25 degrees, and the debilitated sign of Mars is Cancer. Now let me talk about Mars. Mars, in my experience, is actually all about courage. It's about leadership. It's about you taking ownership of your life and grabbing bull by the horns. But there is a huge difference between Mars and Sun. The Sun also represents this, but the Sun also represents your soul, aapki atma. That angle is missing in Mars. Mars will make you a very fierce military commander, but you will have to obey, or you will be obeying the final verdict of someone. But regardless, it will make you a fiery competitor, and you will grab the bull by the horns, but you will need some prodding, because the soul, the spirit, which Sun gives you, that is absent in Mars. So Mars is all about doing well in these professions, the professions that I've mentioned. People with an excellently placed Mars do very well. In fact, they should join the police, military, armed forces, or they could, deal with land, into engineering, rule big corporations. But the chairman of the board will be different, will be a different person. The directions will be coming from somebody else. Now, if you have Sun and Mars both excellently placed in your chart, oh boy, you will be untouchable. You will be such a rebellious warrior, relentless warrior, is the word, that people will just have shivers by your name, just by your name. In the Indian Army, I have heard stories that our neighboring country, there are some soldiers by whose name that person, be it an Indian Air Force pilot, his unit has been deployed, sends shivers down the spine of our enemies. So these people have excellently placed Mars, Sun, or at the bare minimum Mars. Now, what are the ranges of Mars? Now, Mars can be exalted, can be in its Lord house, can be friendly placed, neutral placed, enemy placed, retrograde, and debilitated. At the very top of the spectrum, if your Mars is excellently placed, or if it is auspiciously placed, harmoniously placed, you will do very well. You will be a consensus builder. You would not be the kind of a person who, says my way or the highway kind of, but you will be a consensus team player. You lead a team. People with auspiciously placed Mars are very good at leading and motivating teams and achieving the desired results. Your focus on your mission, or whatever you have to achieve, will be very strong, and your courage will inspire a lot of people. In fact, if you have Mars in exaltation, you will be known for your valor and courage. But, mind you, Sun is your soul, so you will be doing it at the orders of somebody, but regardless, you would be a very brave person. But on the other hand, if your Mars is debilitated, retrograde, ill-placed, then such people, they keep on fighting. They waste their emotions in useless fights and arguments. You must have come across people, they're just arguing and fighting all the time. They waste their energy and are generally not taken seriously by anybody else. Such people have their Mars mostly debilitated or retrograde. They become their own enemy and they are not able to achieve the desired results because they get confused or they get involved in their own emotions, and are not able to convey what is the point they are trying to convey. Even though they try their they try their best, but the message just does not go through. Whereas a person with a Mars properly placed, he will tell you on the table, this is what I want, this is how it's to be done, and he means it. We need more people with good placed Mars in our corporate sector as well as in our armed forces, and I'm sure people who rise to the top of these have these auspicious planets because they are needed. Now, what do you do if your Mars is not properly placed? There are remedies. There are very simple remedies to a little bit. Remedies requiring a little bit of effort. The most common remedy that I tell people is drink from a copper vessel. Wear more of the color red. And if that does not work, or you are seeing that that is not producing the desired result, then the gemstone is coral. The coral gemstone is the gemstone for Mars, and it also, when worn properly in the right finger, on the right date, following the instructions of an astrologer, it can really help you. Now mind you, here based on my experience, I need to tell you something regarding gemstones for Mars and Sun. Now I am very careful while assigning a gemstone to a person for his Mars, because what happens is, especially if the person's Sun is very auspiciously placed also, then generally I don't prescribe him a gemstone. This is general, because there have been issues with high blood pressure in people who have worn the coral for their Mars, who have their Sun well placed, because they are already so energetic, they already are expressing everything due to their good Sun, but they are having issues with working in a team, and that is something that these remedies can do. But we have to be careful with the gemstones, because sometimes the person becomes so exuberant and so with the flow, like he's excited all the time, and it can impact his health, and there have been reports of blood pressure issues. So that's it, my friend. Let me check my notes if I've missed something. No, I think that's it for Mars. So Mars is the third most important planet after Sun and Moon. Mars is the commander in astrology. Now mind you, Mars does go retrograde. Sun and Moon are the only planets which own one house each and which don't go retrograde. Henceforth, every planet that I'll discuss except Rahu and Ketu are direct as well as retrograde, and they own two houses or two rasis as their lord houses. In the case of Mars, it is Aries and Scorpio. Hari Om, friends.